Riots in Colombian prisons over the weekend, protesting poor sanitary conditions in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, left 23 dead. 13 inmates died in Italy this month too. Violence erupted after personal visits were banned. From today, a similar ban on personal visits to prisons comes into force across Australia. Some say it's a dangerous move.
As soon as you stop visitors going into prisons, people are going to get very distressed and are very distressed.
So far, there have been no recorded cases among Australia's 43,000 prisoners, though a Brisbane Immigration Detention Centre guard did test positive for the virus last week. 370 Australian legal experts have signed a letter to the government warning it's only a matter of time before an outbreak occurs.
People are living in situations where physical isolation is not possible, but also in conditions where sanitation is not widely available in terms of the availability of taps, the availability of hand sanitisers.
The letter calls for some prisoners to be released into the community, including those with pre-existing health conditions, children, the elderly, those serving time for less serious offences, and people likely to complete their sentence within the next 6 months.
We need to be reducing the overcrowding by getting people out, which will allow the prisons to have some chance of having some social distancing inside.
The country's courts are struggling too. They're being forced to come up with ad hoc solutions to social distancing rules. The High Court has suspended hearings for the next 3 months, apart from some urgent matters. The federal and local courts are moving proceedings online. The Family Court says shutting up shop is not an option. It's bracing for a spike in domestic violence in the wake of stress, social isolation and job losses caused by the pandemic.
We do know that when we see those stresses and we see families spending intense periods of time together, that rates of domestic violence and the severity of domestic violence really increases.
Most of the country's jury trials have also been delayed, meaning unsentenced prisoners who make up a third of Australia's prison population, and some of whom already spend up to 18 months on remand, could be spending even longer sitting in cells.
They're going to be a large proportion of people on remand, so those who haven't been convicted of offences yet, who unfortunately are probably going to have to stay inside in jail for a longer period of time because of that delay. And as we all know, justice delayed is justice denied.
A likely consequence is a spike in bail applications, an extra load on an already overburdened justice system.